Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Thursday, the 12th of June. Sorry about yesterday, guys. I just got it up here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Kind of a busy day yesterday, and I got sidetracked, and I didn't even get my morning walk in. So, today's going to be a better day. So, what are we talking about today? Well, part of it is off topic, part of it is on topic, if that makes any sense. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and if you didn't already know it, this is the weekday, Monday to Friday. Today is Thursday, the 12th of June. So, what are the on topic, girls? The on topic and the off topic topics? Well, I thought we'd go with the off topic first, because I want some of your feedback. I had spent quality time, alright? I wrote a book on my experiences. And as the doctors always said, you're complicated. Of course I'm complicated. But I was a complicated case, alright? But I started writing a book just to get it out, so that everything wasn't stuck inside me, if any of you know what that means. Just to kind of purge it somewhat of what I went through and what I thought and what was going on and my take on it, right? Alright, so months later, I've got a manuscript with, I think, 20 chapters in it. I got a book cover. And I've approached a couple of different publishers, and the manuscript was accepted. But with these publishers, they want so much money to publish your book. And I was under the impression, this is how clueless I am. I always figured if a publisher accepted your book, your manuscript, that they would cover the cost because they believed in it that much. And I'm kind of like, well, why would you want money from me? Is it a moneymaker and everybody gets accepted? Or is it the book's good enough? Is it... So, I guess the question to you guys, have any of you ever had this experience where you've written a book or a manuscript and sent it to a publisher, got accepted, and then they're asking you... The one publisher, by the time you get all said and done, it's $5,000, and there's no guarantee you'll sell more than 2 books, one for you and one for your mother. My mother's gone, but you know what I mean. So it just seems to me as kind of shady. If I want to make a living in feeding off from people's wannabe authors, I could simply develop that niche like a gazillion of them are doing right now, and I could have AI do it for me. AI can format, check grammar, punctuation. It can't write a book and have feelings and have the right words for feelings, but it can clean up a manuscript and make it publishable. And I could accept manuscript after manuscript in a Word document and just run it through AI, the pro version, and it would do what they're saying that they can do. But what they're not saying they can do is guarantee publication and so many copies sold. Neither can I, because I'm not a publisher. I'm just an individual in Richville that can do the same thing as all these other ones are touting. So if any of you guys have been down this gauntlet And the book cover and the book name is A Heartbeat from Gone. And it kind of gives you a short lead up to where it all began and it started, and then right through to the people. I think the biggest thing about the book is the people. It's not the surgery. It's not so much the complications, but it's the good side of people that I saw, and the positive message that it gives. And I'll be honest with you, that Jessica, she was the first one that read it, and that was for Christian Publishing, and she loved it. She had a few tears, but she loved it because she said it just wanted you to read more. And I didn't hold back. You know how people worry about, making themselves look bad or less than? I didn't. I never thought that way when I was writing. I wanted people to see the real things that were going on and not just a fluff. You know what I mean? It's like writing a book on business and leaving out all the key points and the how-tos, and leaving your audience trying to figure out, well, I didn't get much from that. Maybe a little bit of excitement, or pumping up the author more than what you should. I'm not. I'm just an average individual. If I could publish this book and people could if it would help one person out, just like this channel, it was worth it. It was really worth putting my time and effort into it. But the other thing that was really worth it for me was just trying to get it out of me. Because some of the things I didn't want to talk about to people. So with writing it in the book, it still gave me a way to get it out, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with mental health, but if you have, a lot of times just writing about it, you don't need to show anybody else. You could write whatever daily and then burn it for all I care. But it's getting it out of your system, okay? It's kind of purging it. All right, so if any of you guys have any experience on that, of book writing or know of somebody, I'm just trying to figure out if this is normal, or I'm looking at self-publishing right now. That won't cost me anything. The marketing will, but I'm like these publishers. I'm not guaranteeing myself I'm going to sell a gazillion books. I'm just saying I'll put it out there. And I want myself to pay me. All right, so any words of wisdom would be greatly appreciated on that topic. So on the main topic of the day, and that is, in business, it can't be all about you. And what do I mean by that? You're like, Eric, come on, just spit it out. Quit dragging us along like pulling on a rope. And it's when it comes to charity. And we shouldn't even use the word charity. When it comes to helping somebody else out. And case in point, we're going to be doing it today. And I met this gal in cardiac rehab. And she's 82 years young. And she still puts me to shame every Tuesday. She goes twice a week. She hasn't had a heart attack in 20 years. But she goes there just because not everybody that is using the equipment are doing cardiac rehab. They also can use that facility when other people aren't using it as much, right? So she comes in twice a week. And she was asking me this past Tuesday, that what level are you on and how long are you going on that? So I'd tell her, and she'd come back with, if I said level 4 for 15 minutes, I'm on level 6 for 25 minutes. She's just a regular show off. But Her son bought her a riding lawnmower 3 years ago, and it's a John Deere. It's got one of those quickie lubes that like 40, $50 for the oil filter, and it comes with its own oil, everything. It's John Deere trying to put us out of business. No, not really. But she was telling me that she'd been using the push mower. She got an electric one, battery operated one, and she got a fairly decent sized yard. But she was telling me that she'd been using her push because she kind of run over something at the lower part of her yard, and she thinks she might have damaged one of the blades. And they're the same blades that have been on it for 3 years. So once we both realized that, hey, I'm a small engine repair shop that works on those things, I convinced her to call the shop, give me the model number of the machine, let me get the blades in, and we'll go from there. I know she can't afford a lot. And she's been kind of my, not so much coach, because Mia is my coach, but she's kind of been inspiration for me to keep pushing, because if she can do it, I damn well should be able to do it. And she's great to visit with. She passes the time while you're there. If I'm on the treadmill, I just keep shaking my head yes, because she talks nonstop. All right? Well, she's got story after story after story. When she was younger, and her husband, that she took care of him, she took care of her mother, she took care of her brother-in-law when he had cancer. It's just one of those people that you want in your arsenal of friends, all right? And I knew she couldn't afford much. She's on a fixed income and stuff. Is give me your model number and give me your address, and I'll come out and scrape your deck and put a new set of blades on, because she said everything else is good. So she called yesterday and left the information, and wouldn't you know it, because Claude had asked about ordering a set of blades through the shop, and I said absolutely. Well, it was the same exact set of blades that this gal needs. So I asked Claude yesterday, I said, when are you changing your motor blades? And he said, why? I said, well, this gal, her mower takes the same blade yours does, and I just give you your blades yesterday. What if I just put your blades on order again, and we use these blades and get hers going? And he said, that's fine. He said that his is still cutting good, so he just wanted an extra set of blades because it's been 3 years with his mower. So that's what we're doing today or tomorrow, and that is giving back. And you have to, as a shop owner. It can't be all about you and dollars and cents. I can't say that enough. You got so many people out there that are touting how to do business, and that's all they talk about is dollars and cents, right? They don't talk about the real deal in doing business and what it takes. It's just like I was saying about the book. You don't get the real in-depth on what business is about any more than the real in-depth of what a lot of authors have for their books. So part of being a successful business is not always about you and your bottom dollar. And I've had other business people say, you're screwing yourself by helping people in the community. And I'm like, how so? Well, it's coming out of your pocket. Okay, so why is that a problem for you if it's coming out of my pocket? Well, that's not the way to do business. Really. And your way is the right way to do business. What I'm telling you, and hopefully this never happens to you, but if something happens where your shop takes a downturn of where something's going on, I guarantee you that everything you've done up to that point to help people in the community will come back twofold. It will come back twofold. And that shop owner that's all about me and not helping out the community is going to hear crickets. Because that person always thought about themselves first and not the community as a whole. It's no different than a father and a family. If the father is only taking care of himself, is he much of a father? No. He's just a man, a selfish man. Now, if he's taking care of his wife and kids, that's father. Because that wife and those kids will always come first with him, right? You see what I'm saying? And that's the way I've always run the shop, is if I see someone that is in need that cannot afford but has that need, and if I don't step in and do something at that point in time, it's going to get progressively worse to the point of where it's junk. And I've even had Claude question me on, why are we doing this? You know that person isn't going to appreciate it. But the way I look at it and the way I tell him is, look, Claude, you're still getting paid, whether that person gets a freebie or not. So don't worry about it. It's on me. That's how I look at it. Is, you know, as a shop owner, you're not taking from your mechanics. You're not taking from your clerical workers or your customer service and this and that. It's coming out of your bottom dollar. And that's what a true owner does, a business owner. Yes, they have to do things to keep themselves afloat. But I'm telling you right now, by doing the right thing for the right people, and you know when it's the right time. You don't need to look. The good Lord will pop them up in front of you, and a lot of times it doesn't take much. Piece of fuel line here and there, spark plug, what have you, to help somebody out. But if you're ever in that situation where you can and have the ability to help somebody out, why not? And I've had customers come in that I knew couldn't afford even to have me do a diagnostic on it. I can hear you, Jason. And I tell them, don't worry about it, and send them home with the running mower. You know, as long as it wasn't an in-depth, if it was simply just a new spark plug, a hit carb cleaner, maybe some fresh fuel in the fuel line, hey, we're good. But you as a shop owner have to do the same thing. You need to give back to your community. If you don't, when you fall on hard times, it's not if, it's when. Because every business kind of does this number, right? And when you're running low on fumes and you don't have a lot of fuel in that gas tank, that community will push you through. The momentum will push you through. And I found out, you know, because I do a lot of things on the personal level too, away from the business, where I help people. Whether it's money for cancer, for money for gas and lodging, and this, that the big outpouring of support for me when I got home from the hospital. I have people checking on me every day, running to the grocery store or already going there. So I was getting asked multiple times a day, do you need anything from the store? Do you need anything, you know, in Watertown from the bigger city? You need it. And it's like, no, I got things covered, you know. But people wanted to help. And I think it was my sister that finally told me, she said, look, Eric, you've helped people all your life. It's time to allow them to help you, right? And that sounded reasonable. So, because I didn't want to be a bother, burdensome, and stuff like that. And most of you guys that are on this channel know exactly what I'm talking about. If you can do it yourself, you're going to do it yourself. And it's not because You think you're better than somebody else. You just don't want to bother people. You're you try to be as self-sufficient as possible, and that is case in point. And what I'm telling you is, on the personal level and the business level, if you help people all the time, the best of your ability. I'm not saying if you don't have a lot of money, giving a bunch of money to somebody else, that's asinine, all right? But if you can afford to help somebody, and it might be doing something for somebody, do it. Do it. And when it comes your time where you need help, don't be afraid to say thank you and yes, I could use something. So let me know in the comments. Again, I'm sorry about yesterday's video. I see 4 of you have already seen it by 2:30 this morning. I don't know what the hell you're doing up at this hour with me, but what are your thoughts on it? What are you guys doing in your communities? Are you, if you're a business owner, are you helping out others? Are you? Or do you help in a broader sense? We help on a personal level with individuals, but we also help on a broader sense. And my wife and I have always done that, like at Christmas. Instead of getting each other gifts, we just take the money and donate it to the local church that puts out dinners for low income, scholarships for schools for the kids. I mean, the list goes on. What are you doing in your communities to help support them? Because I can tell you right now, if you are, that community will help you when you need it. So on that note, you guys have a great Thursday. I'm going to get this video finished up right now, and it will be out by 4 o'clock this morning. All right, guys. Have a great Thursday.